Hello, I'm Ruth, and I'm going to take you through a full beginner leg day. If you're new here, hello, I am a certified personal trainer who specializes in women's physique transformation through weightlifting and nutrition coaching. Today I'm going to walk you through a beginner-friendly workout that's going to hit every part of your lower body. That's glutes, hamstrings, and quads. This workout is from the 12-week beginner program inside of my women's weightlifting membership, Built to Last. So if you love what you see, make sure to check out the description box below. I'm going to be doing this workout in a gym, but I'm going to be putting home swaps on the screen throughout as I go. So you can do this workout from the gym or from home. If you do it from home, the only equipment you're going to need is dumbbells, resistance bands, and a bench. This workout is a hypertrophy workout. Hypertrophy just means muscle growth. Doing hypertrophy training doesn't automatically make you a bodybuilder. It just means that we're lifting weights in a rep range and intensity and method that science has shown to be best for growing muscle. So if that's your goal, if you want to tone, shape, reshape, define, whatever you want to call it, if you want body transformation, hypertrophy training is the type of training you should be doing. Okay, without further ado, let's train. We're going to start with a core temperature warm-up. Even if you're a brand new beginner, you don't need to start every workout with a 15-minute dynamic warm-up. When it comes to warm-ups, we want to warm up for the type of exercise that we're actually going to be doing, which in this case is weightlifting. Dynamic warm-ups are for dynamic workouts. And since we're not going to be doing high kicks or plyometrics in this workout, we also don't need to be doing those in our warm-up. I've incorporated warm-up sets into the actual workout, so we'll be doing those a little bit later. But beyond that, we really just need to bring the core temperature up and work out any kinks, especially if you're rolling into the gym straight out of bed or straight after a full day of sitting at a desk. And that's exactly what a core temperature warm-up is for. So basically just choose any piece of cardio equipment, go for 5 to 10 minutes of an easy pace until you're feeling warm and your body is feeling loose. First, let's just appreciate the peach zone artwork in my gym. Very niche. You're gonna start with 3 sets of 10 of the seated abduction machine plus a warm-up set. This exercise works the glute medius and the glute minimus, the smallest muscles of the glutes. So I love this one as a primer to some of our larger, more taxing exercises, which we'll be doing next. To set up, we're going to sit in the seat and adjust the low lever so that the tension is starting when the legs are close together. From here, adjust the pin on the weight stack to your desired load, and then we're gonna pull ourselves down hard into the seat and go. Now let's do one warm-up set. When it comes to choosing weights on any exercise, especially if you're just getting started, the warm-up set is where we can experiment. If it's your first time on this machine, you can choose one of the first 5 weight increments to start at. So that would be 10, 25, 40, or 55. After your warm-up set, you should have a better idea of if that felt incredibly easy or if it felt a little bit hard. At this point, for working set number 1, using that information you got from your warm-up set, choose a weight that you think you could do 20 reps with. We're just gonna do 10 reps, but choose a weight that you think you could do 20 for. Then for set number 2, increase your weight by 5 to 10%. For set number 3, increase your weight by 5 to 10%. If it feels pretty easy, increase by 10%. If it's starting to feel pretty hard, you could increase by 5%. For my first set, I went with 85 pounds. That felt relatively easy. So for my second set, I'm going to increase by 10%. That comes out to 8.5 pounds. I'm going to round up to 10 pounds to keep the math simple. You can be rough with gym equipment. If it's not moving, yank that sucker, it's okay. Set number 2. For this workout, we're resting 60 seconds between all sets. Now, hypertrophy police. I know you're screaming, that's not enough rest for hypertrophy, which is a very non-nuanced thing to say, especially if you're doing periodized hypertrophy, but that's a whole different conversation. Basically, for more intermediate to advanced trainees, yes, 60 seconds is not going to be enough to really get the ideal hypertrophic benefits. But for newbies, those of you who are still learning to choose your weights, you're still learning to train hard, and you're still in that category of newbie gains, meaning you gain muscle quicker than any other population of people, 60 seconds is very sufficient and is going to get you in and out of the gym really efficiently. That still felt pretty easy, so I'm going to increase by another 10% for my third and final set. At the point that we're getting heavier in weight, it becomes even more important to pull ourselves down really hard into the seat. You're going to be much more strong and stable from that position. That's it for hip abduction. Let's move on to exercise number 2. Next, we're going to do 3 sets of 10 of dumbbell RDL with 1 to 2 warm-up sets. Now, the dumbbell RDL works primarily the hamstrings, but we're also going to get a lot of glute max, which is the largest portion of the glutes. For your first warm-up set, choose a low weight, especially if this is a brand new exercise for you. A 10 to 15 pound set of dumbbells is the perfect place to start for most newbies. You want to feel warm and activated by the end of your warm-up sets, but no searing burn and nowhere near failing your rep. Now, if you're new to RDLs or hip hinge movements in general, that's the bending over at the hip motion, this exercise may be a frustration for you. You're not alone, but I have 2 hacks that are gonna make this movement pattern so much easier for you. To really nail this movement down, either grab a light 10-pound bumper plate or a PVC pipe. Take a bumper plate and press it against the front of your body. From here, we're going to send the hips back. And as we do this, we want to keep the bumper plate connected to our body the entire time. If at any time you find that your stomach is disconnecting from the plate, this means that you're rounding your back, you're not keeping a stable, strong core, and you're not keeping a neutral spine. So the plate provides a physical cue in the front to what is happening in the back. Another implement that works really well to teach this is a PVC pipe. So take your PVC pipe and hold it against the top of your head. If you have a claw clip, it's a little annoying, but still possible. Your shoulders and your hips. The goal is to keep the PVC pipe connected to these 3 points throughout the entire movement. If at any time one of these 3 points becomes disconnected, this means you are no longer in neutral spine. So if you're struggling to really get that backward and forward motion with the hips, if you're struggling with hip hinges in general, I highly recommend practicing one of these variations first to get the movement pattern down before you start adding a bunch of load. Now for set number 1, if you're feeling good about your form, choose a weight that you think you could do 20 reps with, and we're gonna do 10 reps. Set number 2, I'm increasing my weight by 10%. After resting 60 seconds, I am doing 10 more reps. Another common mistake on these is keeping the eyes up and letting the neck round out throughout the exercise. Remember, the neck is a part of the spine, so we want to keep a straight line through the back and all the way up through the neck throughout the full movement. To do this, imagine as if a spotlight is coming out of your eyes. We don't want that spotlight staying straight ahead as we hinge. Instead, we want the spotlight to move with our body as we hinge backward and forward. Next, we're doing 4 sets of 10 hip thrusts from the floor, and of course, 1 to 2 warm-up sets. This exercise works the glute max again, which is the biggest division of the glutes, but it's hardest when the muscle is contracted versus the last exercise, which was hardest when the muscle was stretched. For setup on this one, we're going to need a barbell and 2 large bumper plates. Now, I know what you're thinking. You're looking at these plates and you're like, no way, there's no way I can do that much weight. Those are way too big. I want you to think again. Your glutes are some of your largest muscles on your body, and I can almost guarantee you'll be far stronger in this exercise than you initially think. So for most of you, you can start with 10 to 15s on the end of the bar, even for your warm-up set. But if you're not quite comfortable with that, you're also welcome to do the dumbbell variation. You're also gonna need a hip pad. You can use one of these round barbell pads if your gym has one. My gym has these foam square pads. And if your gym doesn't have anything other than yoga mats, you can fold up a yoga mat into a square and use that instead. Lastly, you're gonna need 2 barbell collars to secure the bumper plates to your barbell. For execution on these, we're gonna lie on the floor, feet hip width apart, toes slightly angled out. And to find how far our feet should be from our butt, we're just going to lay the arms down straight and set the heels just touching the edge of our fingertips. From here, drive the hips straight up and squeeze the glutes at the top. We wanna end in a straight line from knee to hip to shoulder. If you are struggling with the bar scraping over your legs uncomfortably, you can add a plate under each side to elevate the bar slightly. If your warm-up set felt hard, you can keep your same weight for working set number 1. If it felt pretty easy, increase to a weight that you think you could do for 20 reps. Set number 2, if form is feeling good, you can increase your weight by 5 to 10%. I went way light on my warm-up set and set number 1 to demonstrate, so I'm gonna increase mine by a lot more than 5 to 10%. So why 4 sets of this exercise instead of 3? This workout, as I mentioned, is part of my 12-week beginner program inside of my weightlifting membership Built to Last. When programming, I am not just looking at individual days, I'm also looking at total weekly sets to ensure I'm programming the right volume of work for muscle hypertrophy. So that's why there's 4 sets of this one. It's helping us get to our weekly volume goal within the larger program. We are rounding out this workout today with quads, and we are ending on the leg extension machine. I love doing leg extension at the end of a workout because it's really just a sit down and go type of exercise. It doesn't take any core stability, and it's a great one to just lay it all out on the line and hold nothing back. For setup on these, we want to start the ankle pad as far back as possible and then find the red dot on the machine, and this is where we want to line up the knee. Once your knees are in line with the red dot, pull the seat up to meet your butt, rather than adjusting the seat first and then getting in and trying to figure out where your knees should be. Adjust the weight stack, and if you're unfamiliar with this exercise, start low. One of the first 4 weight options is a good place to start for most. Extend the legs in front of you and think of pulling the kneecaps toward your hips at the top of each rep. We don't want to let the weight stack slam down between reps. The top stack can lightly tap the lower stack, but we want to keep tension in our legs throughout. So no letting it drop on each rep and losing that tension in the muscle. Set number 1, and I'm choosing a weight that I think I could do 20 reps with, but I'm going to do 10 reps. A leg extension is always cruel. Pro tip on these, we need to end with a straight leg at the top. That's going to allow for the quad to fully contract and get to its end range of motion. So I don't want to see this as the top of your reps. I want to see this as the top of your rep. Set number 2, I am increasing my weight 5 to 10%. Okay, after my 60 seconds of rest, I am now ending on my 3rd set. Keep in mind, if there is a machine where you can really push yourself and not worry as much about hurting yourself or good execution, because it really is just a sit down and go type of machine, this is it. So if you want, if those first 2 sets were feeling a little bit easy, increase your weight even more than 5 to 10% on the final set. And there you have it. The full workout is also typed in the description for ease of access. And as a reminder, this workout was pulled directly from my 12-week beginner program, which is included in my women's weightlifting membership Built to Last. So if you found this helpful today and you're just getting started in the gym, or you're just getting restarted in the gym, or you're just starting your hypertrophy training journey in the gym, be sure to check out the membership. The 12-week beginner program is the perfect way to ease into evidence-based hypertrophy training without the overwhelm and with all of the results. I should also mention, if you're intermediate to experienced, we've also got multiple rolling program options for you in the app as well. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time.